Y'all, I am so excited right now. It's been so long coming. I mean, I cannot believe what has happened this week. Well, y'all, I'm excited, but before we talk about why I'm so excited today, let's go over here and talk about these two jokers. He does not want me near Marianne. He always gets between us. Here he comes. Oh, he's after the dog. All right, I'm going back away because he does chase me right now. But let's go see why. Let's go in here because, y'all, I want to show you this, what I have found inside this barn. Now, it's in the feed stall. I need to get them and take them in the house. But look at that. Marianne is laying. So I've got 2 geese eggs, and I'll go ahead and take those in the house. Now, it's a little bit dark in here, and I can show you relatively where they were, but if you pan around next to the kennel here, in the corner, there was a bunch of this stuff just kind of piled up, but I kind of broke, well, I'm sure the dogs have broke the nest up because I put it back. But there's like a little hole right there, and there was a few goose feathers on it, but I dug down into that area right there, and I found those 2 eggs. Now, she will come back and lay again, and I will get more eggs tomorrow. It's a little late tonight, so I'm going to leave them alone, let them come back in the barn. But she will have me a fresh new egg by the time I feed tomorrow. There's going to be a fresh new egg over there. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I know that she wants to be a mom again, but it is very cold here right now. And I'm worried that if I let her hatch the eggs, that number 1, it's cold. Number 2, they won't be able to reach the water source. I would literally have to put them in a stall. And it's really not fair right now. I'm afraid that if I let the eggs stay over there, these Great Pyrenees are just notorious egg eaters. So if they find an egg, they will probably eat it. Now, can I train them not to? I'm sure, but it would require a lot of discipline. And I'm not out here all the time to discipline them and to teach them not to eat the eggs. So right now I'm gathering them. Whether I actually put them in the incubator to incubate them and brood them manually, I don't know yet. It's a possibility. It just depends on if someone comes up and says, hey, yes, I would like some of the chicks, or there's a possibility that someone will say, hey, I want the eggs. And if they do, they're more than welcome to them, because I would hate to waste the eggs. We could always cook with them, make cakes with them. I hear they're very, very rich, and that we could do that. And, you know, if worst comes to worst case scenario, that's exactly what we'll do, is we will cook with them. I'm being licked. She's decided she's going to the water bin. Her's lovable. Her's lovable. Yes, her is. We're just going to get us some good Helen Loves for a minute. Can y'all hear that? There's some drumming going on there. Helen's licking me here. She's some good Helen loves. Yes. Some good Helen loves. There's nothing wrong with a little calf slobber, is it? I love you too, girl. I love you too. She will always be that sweet. Now, I lost my whole train of thought. One cow come up, and I lose my train of thought. I think I was telling you that I would give those geese eggs away. But then Helen come up, and it is what it is. All right, let's talk about the excitement. Okay, y'all. So it has been quite a week. Just to recap what has happened, the peacocks came for a visit. I managed to throw some scratch feed out right here in front of the barn area, and I don't know what the dogs smell, but they definitely smell something off in the CRP, and they're just kind of protecting the perimeter right now. That is Great Pyrenees in action, except for Yeti. He's not taking it quite as serious yet, but he is being taught by Sophie. And I don't know, it could be just the fact that it's getting later in the evening that they are starting to patrol the fence. But every day at the edge of dark, when the chickens are going to roost, they do start patrolling the entire fence and just barking, just to keep everything away. But apparently they smell something out there. So, anyway, so what happened is the two peacocks came in here and I threw them some corn. They let me get within 25 feet of them, And that was the first time since they left here. It's been close to a year. I'll have to go back and look exactly how long they've been gone and running wild. But they let me get really, really close. So as you can see, I was kind of peeking around the corner of the barn and looking at them eating with the chickens. And they seem to be doing well. They're beautiful. They've grown tail feathers in. They've gotten their beautiful colors like Scott. And just beautiful, beautiful birds. And, you know, I just really, really, really wanted to catch one of them and put it in with Miss Laura, because I would love to have some pea chicks. And, you know, Brooke has really wanted a pied pea chick, and you know, I'd really love to give her one. So they came here, they ate. The next day, they spent the night somewhere close, because the next day they were literally knocking on my door. And I thought, well, they're here 2 days in a row, because normally they just leave. Gosh, I am getting eat up over here by Gus. So Tony was out on the tractor trail, and he called me and said, one of the peacocks is in the chicken run. And, you know, as you can see, it has doors. Of course, that is a slot that it went in right there, or it could have flew over. But I can close this up and close that slot right there and lock whatever in the chicken run. And so I came right on out here and closed it up, and I had one of the peacocks in there. So I went and got the dip net, and I caught the peacock in the dip net, and I went to pick it up, and of course it got me. It got me with its claw on my eye here and down here, and it bloodied my nose. Now that was several days ago, so it's had time to get well, but I got the peacock and I put it in with Miss Laura. Now, he has settled in and he has done wonderful. And he will call her and feed her, but the other one refused to go in there. Y'all, he tried to leave, and he went way back off the property, and you could hear him honking and screaming. But this little guy here, let's call him Junior, Junior was calling back to him, and he called him all the way back. Now, that happened a couple of times, and finally, the peacock decided he's just going to stay. So he stayed right in this area here, and honestly, I asked Google, would he stay if his brother, his sibling, was locked up with the other peahen? And so the experts say that they form strong bonds between siblings, and that yes, as long as I provided the sibling within sight and food source and water source, the peacock would stay here until at least spring when it's breeding season, and then he may wander off by himself looking for a female. Well, we know there's not a female out there, or at least we think there's not. So I was at a dilemma, because he was staying. He stayed for 4 days. And I was at a dilemma whether I needed to catch him and pin him up, or just let him hang around here, because he was hurting nothing and he was beautiful and he wasn't going anywhere. So my thing was, I was afraid that he would try to go off and find a female by himself and a predator would get him. Or he would get outside the fence and just kind of roost there and a predator would get him. So today he went into the chicken run. Y'all, I went and I blocked the door and I watched him, because I told you I had a dilemma. Am I going to pin him up, or am I going to just leave him alone? So I needed to know what the peacock wanted. And as I was watching him, he was just pacing the fence in there between the two pens, and he was wanting in there with his sibling and with Miss Laura. So y'all, I called him, and this is what happened. So when I put the peacocks in together, they immediately ran to one another and was like talking to one another and clucking and calling each other to eat. And they just acted like they were so happy to be together. And they both started calling Laura and getting her to eat. So her food is over here and her water's over there. And Laura always roosts on that old coop there every night. So I just don't take it out because she really likes it. These guys here are doing the exact same thing they were doing when they were in here before. They're getting on that limb. But they have just acted like they were so happy. They've been pecking on the ground, eating some corn and scratch that I put out there, and just having a good time. So I think I've made the right decision by catching both of them, because honestly, I think they needed one another. The other one was out here and he was lonely and he just wanted to be in there with his sibling. And like I said, they have formed strong bonds. And look at those tail lengths. The colors on them are just amazing, y'all. So now that brings us to the next project, because I'm going to have to recruit some help. Tony. So Tony's out here in his shorts and long sleeve shirt and Crocs. Okay.
Trying to get Stella out.
Well,
Yeti's trying to catch Stella, and she keeps jumping up in my arms trying to get away from Yeti.
Well, I was talking about the peacocks in there. So I said that that's going to bring us to a new project. We're going to have to build some kind of peacock enclosure to give them more room, because those guys are huge. So,
I think we're going to put something down this side.
Down this side?
So we'll have a lean-to off of this side, just like we do that side.
Okay, and so we could use like the whole side for the peacocks?
We can put whatever you want to. I wouldn't mind making a couple of stalls.
Okay.
Up on the concrete, maybe on this end, just have some outside stalls to go into.
Okay.
Or make a door go into the inside and have outside stalls. Either way would be nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, we've got them now and they're safe.
I still can't believe that after, how long has it been, a year?
Well, it's been at least 10 months to a year. I'm not sure.
There's no way that those peacocks left that very pen that they're in that enclosure, and then a year later you catch them and put them back in that same enclosure. That don't make no sense. They ain't been home in a year. They just come out for a visit.
They've been here a total of 3 times in a year. So how? I mean, did they just suddenly decide, hey, I know where I'm at and I'm coming home and I'm hungry, or did they just run out of food out there?
I think everything's out of food right now. There's nothing to eat. It's dry, wintertime, and there's nothing to eat. So if I had to guess, I would have to assume that they're at an age now that they're more mature. And as they come into maturity and leave puberty, they get to a point that they may be looking for a girlfriend.
And they found Miss Laura.
And Miss Laura is in this pen calling all day. So you can hear these peacocks for a quarter of a mile, or you can hear them on the back side of the property. So I wouldn't doubt it to be that at some point in time they have heard her and made it a point to come investigate what that is, because I would imagine they're probably at an age they're looking for a girlfriend, and Miss Laura was too easy to turn down since she was right here.
Yeah, since there's no other peacocks in the area.
Yeah.
Huh?
That probably didn't hurt either.
I just got knocked over by one of the dogs.
Well, I've got to rescue Stella.
But we are super excited that the peacocks have returned home, and that now, as of today, they are in the enclosure with Miss Laura.
Yeah.
They are safe from predators as of today. We don't have to
exactly
worry
right.
about them anymore.
That's exactly right.
So, I mean, I'm just beside myself. I did text Brooke and tell her that I had caught both peacocks and put them in the enclosure with Laura. And she said, what?
That is
No
crazy.
way.
That's
and I
still
said,
crazy.
yes, way. They're in there.
Okay, I'm going to get Stella inside because Yeti is not giving her a break.
Yeti just wants to play with her. Okay, you guys, we hope that you're as excited about the peacocks as Tony and I are. And we're going to get in the house because it's turning a little bit colder out here, and y'all farm on.